Good evening and thanks for joining us. Tonight we officially have names as well as charges for the individuals involved in a fatal West Fargo car crash on Wednesday.
The accident happened just after 9:20 p.m. at 9th Street and 19th Avenue East, which is just north of I-94 near the Blarney Stone. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says a car was crossing at the intersection with a green light when a van driven by 30-year-old Sebastian Tarovic of Fargo ran a red light at a high rate of speed. The van hit the car on the driver's side, pushing it into an unattended pickup truck. The truck landed in the Blarney Stone parking lot while the other two vehicles came to a rest on the curb on 19th Avenue East.
28-year-old Sapphire Johnson of Bemidji was killed in the crash. West Fargo Police and West Fargo Fire attempted life-saving measures. However, Johnson died on scene. Tahirovic was treated on the scene before being taken to a Fargo hospital. His injuries are serious, however, they're not life-threatening, according to authorities.
The North Dakota Highway Patrol says Tahirovic is charged with criminal vehicular homicide, driving under the influence of drugs, driving under suspension, possession of controlled substance marijuana, and driving without liability insurance. And a search warrant in Cass County led to several minor in consumption citations just yesterday morning.
According to police, around 12:30 a.m. Friday morning, a deputy with the Cass County Sheriff's Office noticed several vehicles creating a traffic hazard on 6th Street East in Horace. As the deputy tried contacting the homeowners, several individuals appearing to be under the age of 21 and holding alcoholic beverages ran from the residence. Police say the homeowner and several partygoers were uncooperative with deputies, and a search warrant was obtained to further the investigation.
Now, approximately 80 people were detained and 30 people were issued citations for minor in consumption. Police say there was also a hit-and-run crash stemming from this incident that involved, luckily, no injuries. According to police, there will be a report sent to the Cass County State's Attorney's Office for the hit-and-run crash, as well as the citations.
The Fargo mother who took her daughter earlier this week, causing a nationwide Amber Alert, has been sentenced to 5 days in jail. Just days after a statewide Amber Alert was issued for her missing daughter, 22-year-old Brianna Ziegler admitted she was the one who was responsible for her child's disappearance.
Under a court order, Ziegler was supposed to turn her 3-year-old daughter over to Cass County Social Services Wednesday evening, but she never did. An Amber Alert was issued for the child Wednesday evening, with both Ziegler and her daughter being found unharmed Thursday afternoon. Ziegler now faces 5 days in jail and has 360 days of probation.
Now let's head over to First Alert Storm Team's Shelby Ebertowski to get a look at our holiday weekend forecast. Shelby?
Well, Zoe and Reed, right now taking a look up in Grand Forks, we do have some quiet conditions with those flags just slightly moving, but otherwise we're seeing clear skies at the moment. There is a severe thunderstorm warning just next to the Rowlett County area, but otherwise they are seeing some clouds over there, but clear skies for the rest of us. However, that will change as we head into that Sunday morning and Sunday evening hours, as we have another chance of some severe storms. Now, this does include the Grand Forks County area, and it stretches between that Pembina and Walsh County, stretching just to the northern part of Cass County and even through Beltrami. Now, this does have some chance of some severe storms with gusts from 40 to 60 miles an hour, hail up to an inch, although that tornado threat is low. Now, there is another chance on Monday, and this does include the Fargo FM area and our Lakes Country area. So if you are going out, remember to be weather aware, and if you are going out on the boat. But otherwise, we're going to continue to keep you updated on this in our main weather, but stay tuned because I'll have your full forecast coming up next.
All right. Thank you so much, Shelby. Well, the National Transportation Safety Board announced that it will investigate the loss of the Titan submersible. The U.S. Coast Guard is the lead federal agency for the investigation, and the NTSB is part of the U.S. Coast Guard's Marine Board of Investigation. The investigation comes after the crew of the research vessel Polar Prince lost contact with the Titan submersible on June 18th. 5 people were on board the submersible, and now the NTSB will gather information, analyze the facts, determine a probable cause, and issue any necessary safety recommendations. The NTSB will issue a final report in 12 to 24 months.
A judge has ordered the Proud Boys to pay more than $1 million to a predominantly black church for the destruction of a Black Lives Matter sign back in 2020. The Friday decision was part of the civil lawsuit the Metropolitan African Methodist Church filed against the right-wing extremist group. The judge in the case calling the attack, quote, hateful and overtly racist. An attorney for the church said the goal of the lawsuit was to stop the Proud Boys from being able to act with impunity and without fear of consequences. Among the 5 Proud Boys members named in the judgment is its leader, Enrique Tarrio. In 2021, he pleaded guilty to burning a Black Lives Matter banner at a different church in D.C. And in May was among the Proud Boys members found guilty of conspiracy for attempting to prevent Joe Biden from becoming president after the 2020 election.
Today, Donald Trump held his first rally since his federal indictment in Pickens, South Carolina. Today's campaign stopped in a county where he won nearly 75% of the vote in 2020. The small town closing down its main street for the event.
This is as 2 recent polls show that the former president is widening his lead over the Republican primary field. Trump addressed thousands of cheering supporters on a hot day, taking jabs at President Biden and predicting that he will win the state's primary in 7 months.
Well, starting today, law enforcement across the state will have extra patrols for the month of July for the Click It or Ticket campaign enforcing the state seatbelt law.
Until August 1st, North Dakota's seatbelt law will remain as a secondary enforcement, meaning law enforcement can only issue a seatbelt citation if a driver is pulled over for a different infraction and found not to be wearing a seatbelt. Also starting today, North Dakota jurors will receive a bump in their daily rate of pay. The rate has increased to $50 for a half-day service and $100 for a full-day service, a rise enacted by the state legislature at the request of the Supreme Court.
Now, this is the second increase to juror pay in North Dakota. A daily rate of $25 was set in 1977 and was increased to $50 in 2009. If you're going on a road trip this weekend, know that gas prices here are slightly lower than across most of the country.
Gas prices are $1.30 per gallon less this year than compared to last. They are still high, however, compared to historical average. The average in Minnesota right now is $3.45, and it's $3.48 in the state of North Dakota, which is about 6 cents cheaper than the national average.
And while we're talking, Security Administration on Friday screened almost 2.9 million people ahead of the 4th of July holiday, setting an all-time high traveling record since the founding of the agency in late 2001.
And if you're still making plans for the 4th of July, here are a few options for you. It's the 50th annual 4th of July fireworks show in Moorhead.
Blast off is from Horizon Shores Park, or you can watch from family-friendly parking lots at the Moorhead Career Academy, Horizon Middle School, or Axis Clinicals. Organizers say you can see the fireworks from pretty much anywhere in Moorhead. The show is starting at dusk.
You can also have an old-fashioned 4th of July at Bonanzaville. They'll have bouncy houses and games, pony rides, face painting, a pie eating contest, food vendors, and even bingo. It's happening on the 4th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. with fireworks taking place at dusk. Admission is $25 for a family or $10 for adults and $5 for kids.
Sarah Toma of Greater Grand Forks says it'll be the largest fireworks show ever for their 65th annual celebration. The festival is at the Saratoga Park this year from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 34th Street and 11th Avenue in Grand Forks. The fireworks show is by South Middle School near 20th Street and 47th Avenue.
Because of the event, 11th Street from South 34th Street to South 30th Street in Grand Forks will close at 8 a.m. on the 4th. It should reopen around 6 p.m.
Today, we are also celebrating more than the 4th of July holiday here in North Dakota. Today is also celebrating our state on 701 Day.
Today there was a celebration at Broadway Square. The day is meant to celebrate everything the state of North Dakota has to offer. And still ahead on Valley News Live at 10, the United States debt is said to continue to rise to a record-setting point. Details after the break.
And over the next couple hours, we're going to see those temperatures dip into those 60s. We're also going to have those clear skies as well. And then even getting into our holiday weekend, our warmest temperature for our 4th of July was 97 and our rainiest was just over 3 inches. But don't go anywhere because I'll have your full 4th of July forecast coming up next.